Um, Today we started right on time or a few seconds before, I don't know, but let's go with that. I have with me today a recurring Skygunner with his new OC. Say hi.
Hello.
We have Blackened, who today actually released a new song on his YouTube.
Yep.
And we have a person who makes very fine looking art, Myth Pony.
Hi.
And with these, I would say, adorable people and ponies, we are going to discuss how to start up a new project and like how to put content out for the world to see on internet. Like, what type of media would you use? What would you create? Or if you are making music, which websites should you use? Are you creating art? What should you use? Like, is it default DeviantArt or maybe someplace else, like maybe TikTok, vice versa. We can start a little bit asking, in case there is new people who doesn't know what each of you do, what do you do? So let's start with Myth. You are holding an adorable, I was about to say toilet, but that's wrong. It's called the turtle. Thank you.
Turtle. Yeah, I don't remember why I made that for the last stream. Something about plushies, but yeah. Mostly what I used to do, what I'm getting back into is comic art. I have my own comic. I mostly just do digital art and commissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, you posted that you're gonna be the next chapter is gonna be released very soon.
Well, it's not really a chapter because I didn't finish the first chapter. It's just it went on hiatus for a while. So I'm telling people, hey, it's time to like review the comic if you want to be up to date when the new pages are coming out.
Ah, let me see. Haven't you posted the link to that? Yes, there it is, the DeviantArt.
Yeah.
And that's why I have hello, my name is in the server, because when people are talking about stuff, I can drop their links without having to ask them for it. So it's very useful.
Yeah, it is.
Paste. And there you guys have her DeviantArt if you want to go and take a looky-loo. So, would you mind telling us shortly about the comic for people who haven't read it?
Oh, yeah. It's based in Equestria, you know, like most Brony comics are. It focuses mainly around this one character who's half deer and half pony, and she has these strange magical powers that no one can really explain them to her. And she gets selected to join this special class, which is actually a research group of other ponies who have just very uncommon, unrecorded magical abilities that they don't understand. And one pony who's lived for like hundreds of years is heading it up, being like, I have a family, I want to know what's going to happen to them, I want to know where all this is coming from and figure it out. So we're gonna figure out all of our powers together and look for more stuff like this in the world. And of course there's problems that come up, but most of those haven't come up in the comic yet. I've been putting out teasers. But that's mostly what it is. Kind of X-Men but ponies.
Cool. How long has this been going on for?
I started writing it when season 5 was airing, so like 6 years.
Nice. Don't you also do commissions? Like, people can see your I cannot talk today. Tommy, please be nice to me. People can already see your art style based on your own OC on the screen. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you open for commissions currently, or are you closed right now?
Right now I'm not open for commissions, but I am currently selling Pride Flag Your Character Here's over on my DeviantArt page, so anyone who clicks the link will be able to see them. I'm going to be selling those like throughout like the next couple of days and through June. So if anyone wants their own custom like Myth Pony artwork that has their Pride flag on it, they can get it.
I'm just gonna show it off a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me get the link for you. Actually, am I allowed to post links in the Twitch chat?
You are a VIP if I remember correctly, so you should be able to. In worst case scenario, post it here in the Discord and I will swoop it over.
Okay. Oh, it worked. It's in the chat. I just. Oh wait. On your feed, it's coming up as asterisks. Okay, it's not showing them.
Yeah, okay. Just poke it over to me.
Oh, I just put it in the chat here on the call.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you.
Okay.
Here you go. Myth Pony is sadly not on Twitter, so if you want to contact her, it is through DeviantArt.
DeviantArt. I am on Twitter, I just don't use it to socialize. It's mostly for my Dungeons and Dragons artwork.
GIF, please.
Oh,
I want to follow.
Right. Oh no! Here, here's the link. Please don't hurt me. I'll add it to the hello, my name is.
Thank you very much. And now I'm gonna be rude and give it to everyone else. Mwah!
Okay.
Here we go. Follow her. She makes amazing stuff. And from going from Reese and Ross, and thank you for sharing, we are now going over to Blackened, who made a new song today. Do you want to care to share a little bit about it while I post the link to your YouTube in the chat?
Alright, I wrote a song about Lesson Zero. It's a very older episode, but it's still fun to write about. Basically just how Twilight's sick of writing letters for Princess Celestia all the time. It was actually written for Ponies at Dawn and Zenith, but it unfortunately didn't make the cut, so I just decided to release it on my own channel instead.
So I guess the inspiration was from the episode. How long have you been working on the song?
I don't remember exactly how long, but I think I started like right after the album was announced, and then I sent it in like a month before the deadline. So this would have been like shortly before I went to BabsCon.
Ah, yeah.
Which
I
was
met
a
you
fun
at BabsCon.
time.
Yeah, met you at BabsCon.
Yeah. Second
Always
time.
Yeah, fun. So, you write, you play, you do everything, or?
Yeah, basically.
So how
Unless it says I've got a guest with me, then it's all me. Minus the artwork, I can't draw.
Well, that's fair. Drawing is its own type of magic. So, how did you start doing pony music specifically?
I started a few years ago, mainly because there's a kind of sound I wasn't really hearing in the fandom. So I thought to myself, well, I guess I might as well do it if no one else is going to do it. There's that phrase, if you want something done right, you should do it yourself. I basically took that into my own hands. So basically everything you're hearing on my channel is just stuff I haven't been hearing enough, so I decided I'll do it. Plus I was inspired by a lot of the fandom's musicians, and it's like, I've met most of them now and worked with a lot of them. So it's a lot of fun.
Pretty awesome. Brain. Okay, then she is followed. Goody drum drops. Sky, my boy.
How you doing?
I am stable for now. Pun not intended. So what are you are doing quite a lot of things. You actually sell physical merch as well, as far as English. Yeah.
You can do this. I believe in you.
I don't.
Oh well, that's one of us.
As far as I know, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Well, he. Can't you just explain what you do before I start biting my own tongue?
I mean, you can still bite your tongue. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm a vendor. I vend at pony conventions and furry conventions, and occasionally an offset anime convention and stuff like that too.
Yes,
yeah.
And what do you sell? Especially one of them that I really like. You hint.
Well, France, I assume, is the one you're talking about, the card game.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I said yes, but I don't think my mic picks it up.
Sure didn't.
Too high pitch.
But no, I sold pretty much anything I want, I guess. It's just kind of like a goal is to have something new every so many conventions, just so there's just always a new influx of stuff, because, you know, cool. Right now I kind of do a lot of with the flags, with the stuff on the table, and the cocktails, and metal bottle openers. I think that's the newest thing I have. No, the newest thing isn't even out yet. It's oh, I can spoil. It's gonna be at Winnie City. They're toilet paper cozies.
Wait. Toilet paper what?
It's the dumbest thing possible I could think of. I was like, let's see what happens. And yeah, I made toilet paper cozies.
Can you explain the function of those?
Well, you put it over a roll of toilet paper, and that's it.
Just for fashion?
Yeah, I'll get a photo of it. 1 second.
Okay. So I wondered if there was a special function to it.
The function is that you have a roll of toilet paper that doesn't get dusty.
That is fair.
I'm just gonna put this on screen.
I have never worried about dusty toilet paper before, and now I'll never stop worrying about it.
Okay, here's the one. These are they're still technically prototypes, so I'll just be selling them at like super discount and do a new order after this. But need to be a little longer. There was an issue with which hand am I putting this in?
You're putting it in chill and chat text, the one closest to the voice chat.
Oh my gosh!
It's the dumbest thing ever. I love it. Got like 5 different faces too. They're all meme faces.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, just.
So yeah, it's you see they're just like they're like an inch too short on the bottom there. I'm sorry, like 25. No, it's 25.
We just need to find the right brand of toilet paper.
I went with like the most generic rolls. It's not going to work on like jumbo rolls or anything, but it'll work on most any hotel paper toilet roll or like.
I'm so confused on so many levels.
I'm so angry.
Obviously I did a lot of with face masks. Actually before the pandemic I was working with face masks. It was strange. And then during, I branched out to over 50 designs. That was insane. I finally got a new order of that in for Winnie as well. Just, I like making dumb stuff now.
Yes, it's amazing that you make dumb stuff, but right now my brain is so confused, I don't know what to do.
Okay, so I guess a toilet paper cozy is kind of like an old American thing, like from like the 60s or 50s. Just because you would have the roll of toilet paper in your room as like a backup, but you don't want to just look at a roll of toilet paper, so you put something over top of it so it doesn't look like toilet paper, but it's still there in case you need it.
I'm gonna hide brain.
Necessities?
Believe me.
You're gonna hide the necessities under fun or pretty stuff because the necessity is not pretty enough. I feel sad.
It's kind of like it's disguised now. No one else knows where your toilet paper is hidden. There's just this weird cylinder of a pony face.
These are new too. It's a thing. Again, I noticed nobody was kind of doing them. So like, oh, I'll do these. Why not? They're microfiber cloths for getting your glasses and your electronics. And, Midnight Premiere actually got in on that order too, so she'll have them at her table as well of her designs, so you can find them if you're going to Winnie City, of course. If you're not, then tough luck. Sure, they'll be available online later.
Yeah, I do like those are like those are actually pretty cute.
Yeah, I just make stuff.
Yeah. Like, what is... Okay, I think we already have the answer, but what's the weirdest thing you ever made? But I think we have that answered already.
Well, I actually... the toilet paper cozy is the funniest. I did make the Dimmadaki. You know the Doug Dimmadaki?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's mine. The artwork is from my friend Radical Ouija. And it was made entirely as like a what's the word? It's not a joke, like almost like a. My friend was very sick, basically, and it was made for him. And he ended up getting better, but when he got better, he found this package on his floor. He's like, what the heck is this thing? And then 3 meters of Daki fall out of it, and it just blew his mind. It was great.
Daki is the big pillows, right?
Yes, this one is literally 50 centimeters across by 300 centimeters. Quite long.
Tusen tack.
Really, I must
just.
have made something stupid like that.
Huh.
But I don't know. So this is, I don't know.
So okay, so we have art, we have sound, and we have physical stuffies. This is a good mix.
Yeah.
But Sky, you also draw a little, don't you? I see you tweet stuff from time to time.
I do. I'm a very slow learning artist, and I've been at it for way too long now. But it's getting to the point now where I can actually post stuff. But for my shop, I still almost commission exclusively my friends because 1, I get to pay my friends money, and 2, they just draw better and more consistent than me, so it's much easier than doing it myself.
That is true. So I'm gonna.
I've been drawing since I was like 6. Well, it's been like 24 years of practice to get where I am now.
Which take dedication, and that it stands respect from.
But I can just relate, it's a slow process.
So yeah, that drags me into the theme, which was like making new projects and making content. So for people doing art, how would you recommend do and don'ts when it comes to posting art on the internet?
There's a lot of do's. I'm trying to think of any don'ts.
Say don't expect
Well,
to get popular overnight.
Yeah, I don't expect that. One good piece of advice I heard recently was like, don't step on your ideas. Don't assume your ideas are too big for you to do. Like, you put a little time into them, like over a long amount of time. Yeah, it'll take time. But it'll work out. I think the saying I heard was like, don't step on your seedlings.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And of course, there's tons of do's. Like, do make something you like instead of making something to impress other people, and do work on a schedule and a budget that works for you instead of like overexerting yourself or overspending or making deadlines you can't keep.
So, for somebody who is about to post their art for the very first time and have no clue of like, because when you do enter the art community, there's a lot of rules a lot of non-art people don't know about. Would you care to name 5 of them?
Let's see if I can name 5 of them. I know one for sure. If your art is based off of something else or traced off of it, you absolutely give credit to the original artist. And just write yourself and I've got give credit. Or if you like use part of someone else's art, like as part of a background or like an outfit that someone else designed, you give credit. Let me think here. I'm trying blank. Oh no. Here's a good one. Always know the rules of the websites that you're submitting to. Like, Twitter will allow a whole lot of things, including not safe for work. DeviantArt will allow some things that are borderline not safe for work. Other things can be reported and you can get banned for them. And there's a lot of other smaller websites that are even more strict on the content they allow. And I think the same thing applies, like, if you're gonna put if you're gonna post your art in Discord servers, but given that those aren't really websites, I'm not sure if I want to go into that. But basically, know the rules of where you're posting, like what is and isn't allowed, like via content, you know. Say, if you're gonna, you said if someone's posting their first artwork. Hmm.
Yeah, or say that they are very, very, very new and they don't know what tracing or that type of things means.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me think. Like some things that are. I'm trying to think of things that are considered art theft, but people don't always expect them to be. Like tracing is one. It'd be a trace over a character and then draw some other designs on it. That's another thing that you have to give credit to the original person for. You have to admit, yes, I traced on your work to make this. Is that okay? And if that person's not okay with it, they will probably tell you no, take it down, or they will tell you, yeah, it's okay because you added your own stuff because they're being nice. I think. What else is there that counts as art theft? Also, technically counts as art theft if you use bases and don't give credit, which is another reason I was saying giving credit is so important.
So
And
if people don't
it's
know
not
what
hard.
basis is.
A base? Oh, like bases and line arts are pictures that people have already drawn of a character that has very little detail on it, and it'll be marked as base or free to use or pay to use. That you take this image of a very bland character and you draw your details on top of it.
Okay. That is good to know,
And
so
if-
that people don't do that.
Yeah. And if you use that, then when you post your finished artwork, you just write in the description, the base was made by whoever the maker was, and then a link to the base. And a lot of people who make bases, they say, link back to what you made because I want to see what everyone does with this. So, especially if they're marked free to use, people are very welcome to using their bases as long as you say, this person made the base, and then I made the finished art.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to give credit because that's all it is. You just say, this person made it, and then I did this.
It's been surprisingly how many has done that of lately or the past half year. So I think it's something people should really take into consideration, because when you're not inside the art community, you don't really see the big deal. But when you enter the art community and understand what it really means, it's like the whole world was flipped on the table.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something new, and you don't see a lot of it elsewhere. I've been in it so long, I'm trying to think, what are things that people outside of the art community don't know?
So maybe my voice. So maybe that's something to make a YouTube video if we do know of art making YouTube ponies, but we don't know if they might make a video like that in the future.
There was some discussion with Lightning Bliss about not this exact topic, but something simpler or similar. That's like an art etiquette do's and don'ts. So she might have something in the works for the future. I don't know how far off it would be though.
Yeah, that's true. So hopefully not a spoiler for people.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, but
I
something to
didn't
look
go into
forward to.
anything to be in there, but yeah, something to look forward to.
So, Blackened, when it comes to do and don'ts about making music and posting it, are there any basic starting rules you want to give people?
Yeah, basically, just do it. It doesn't matter what quality your work is, what equipment you've got. You might have some really jank equipment, but if you've got ideas in your head and you have the know-how to put something out there, maybe you don't, but even then, just try writing something, and people might notice. That's what I'd say is a good starting point.
Mm-hmm.
But I also say, as one of the don'ts, don't expect to immediately get popular just because you worked hard on something. You don't want to be that person that works on something, puts it on YouTube, and then immediately expects like 10,000 views in 2 seconds, because that's not going to happen unless you're already popular. You need to have a consistent schedule. You need to be promoting yourself. You need to get yourself out there. If you haven't built up your own social media presence, no one's going to notice you when you just put up a video on YouTube and it just gets like 2 views in a day. Because that will happen if you're not popular, if you don't have any presence whatsoever. You got to build that up. And let me think of some stuff first.
I agree on the frequent schedule. That really helps. You can post something like once a week, you'll get noticed so much easier. Not sure why, but it works.
Yeah, plus it makes the algorithm happy.
Use the algorithm.
Yep. got some other stuff in my mind. I just got to learn how to articulate it first.
Yeah, it can be hard. Well, I know very well it can be hard to put proper words out of mouth.
Yeah.
So, to give you something else to chew on, what is the biggest don't to do while you're a music maker?
That's a tough one. There's plenty of things I wouldn't do. That's basically just spamming people with music. Like just posting literally like every day, just the same song over and over again. It's like, hey guys, check out my music, or I don't know, hounding people on Twitter to check out your stuff. Just constantly using the @ feature, because that's not gonna entice people to check out your music. That's just gonna annoy people.
Yeah, and then you get the opposite effect.
Yeah, the people would just know you as someone who's desperate for attention, rather than any talent you may or may not have.
Yeah. But when it comes to making music itself, like, also I would guess like you cannot use the same background vocals, or if somebody has a song, you cannot take away like the drums or the guitar, but keep the rest and use it. But that again would be quite hard depending on what audio editing software you have.
Yeah, it's not easy. We've got AI tools to remove parts of songs, but they're still quite rough. So you can hear all those artifacts in there. Because it sounds a bit watery, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm not as dabbled into music making as yourself, but I've dabbled a little bit, and it's very intimidating, to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely intimidating to start off with. But as time goes on, you get used to it. You figure out all kinds of stuff. And sometimes you stick with it. It's great.
Yeah. So, when it comes to putting music out on YouTube, with covers and stuff, you very often get like copy claimed or similarities like that. Like, how do you handle that when you make... Well, you don't get that when you make original music, do you?
No. If you're putting out your own original song, then you're not going to get copyright claimed by anyone. 99% of the time, at least. I know there's been some instances where people have put up their own music. Like Devin Townsend, for example, he once... some years ago, he put out like a couple of videos of him playing some riffs, and he got claimed for it.
What?
Yeah. In fact, I've even heard... You know the song Smoke on the Water, right?
And...
The one that's like... Da, 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 da,
Ah,
da.
yes.
There's a lot of YouTubers who play guitar put out videos of them playing the song. Not even with the background music, just the actual riff of the song. I don't know if this is going to come through on the mic because of Discord, but you know, just that... You probably didn't hear that because it didn't come through.
Nope.
Nope, I didn't think so. But I just played the riff there, so I don't think it would get claimed. They played the riff and immediately got claimed. Even if it was just like a second of the song, that was enough for it to get claimed. So there's this running joke among YouTubers like that. They would just call the song 035. Because that's just how that's how you play the song on guitar. It's just that fret, basically. They just call it that just to avoid like the possibility of getting struck down.
Wow.
But if you're being super original with your cover, then the chances of you getting copyright claimed are even less likely.
That is good. So, I had a question, but it kind of like disappeared because I was distracted by motion of the sound waves.
Yeah, I feel that.
Squirrel! Ska vi se. Well, there is the thing of what if you can't sing but you can make music? Do you have, or vice versa? What kind of advice would you give to those people?
So basically, someone who can only make instrumentals but can't actually sing or anything like that, or aren't very good at it.
Yeah, or vice versa. Like, do you recommend them only doing collabs? Do you recommend them finding permanent people to work with, or well, you can do both, so you don't have this trouble. But for people like that, what would you recommend for them?
I wouldn't say there's a specific rule set for that kind of thing, but if you know your strengths, then absolutely play to them. If you do make just instrumental music, I would recommend hold on a sec. I would recommend trying to write songs that would basically sound like instrumentals, because back in the day I used to write only instrumental, but the problem I had was the instrumentals I write were clearly meant to have vocals in them, so it just sounded really empty. If you want to write instrumental songs, you got to make sure that every bit of space is there. Every bit is utilized to the best of its ability. Otherwise, it just sounds empty. Like if you're just playing guitar in a song, you want something interesting. If it's just, you don't want empty space in your song. And if you only sing, then I don't know. Maybe you could find like a stock beat to work with, because there's plenty of royalty-free like beats online out there.
So where could people find those beats?
It depends. They're all over the internet. YouTube itself. There's websites where you could pay people to make beats for you if you want, or you could just look for people who make beats who are looking for rappers or singers, whatever. Just show yourself off to them, and if they like you, they'll bring you onto their project.
So, where also for people who doesn't know where to find them, where would you recommend they start?
Like looking for beats or something.
Looking for like you said, you can find royalty-free stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, you can just search up royalty-free insert genre here on YouTube, and you'll find plenty of beats online. It's really easy. Let me Google something right now.
Yeah, just to give people an example.
Okay, so let's go with royalty-free trap beat. Already, I'm finding so many of them. The first result is free no copyright beat 2020. Free instrument 11.
Nice. Anything else you would recommend to someone starting out, either or with...
Oh yeah, another tip I had, another don't is don't spend too long working on something. Like if you've got something in the works, don't spend that much time on it. Just make sure you get it out to the people, and then later on you can rework it. You don't want to be that person that's like, hey, I'm coming out with my debut single soon. I've been working on it for the last 2 years. No, a song should never take that long unless it's incredibly complex. But if it's your debut single, no, it should never take anywhere near that long. Don't rush it, obviously, but don't dwell on it for years and years unless there's a specific reason for it.
So what would be the normal...
Too bogged in all the tiny details.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
What would be the normal amount if you're able to give us a kinda time schedule, like a month or 2 months?
It varies from artist to artist, but in some cases, sometimes it takes months for me to come up with something. Like sometimes the song takes months for me to finish, but other times it can take like less than a month. I think one song I made in like a couple weeks, and I got it out really quick. I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember getting it out really fast.
Yeah, and that includes when you work a day job on top of that.
Yeah, if you've got like a tight schedule, then it's going to take even less time. It's going to take you more time rather.
Yeah.
Because you've got all these things occupying your time. And it's just hard to find time to do something like that.
Any other advices, do or don'ts?
I don't think I've got much else.
Okay, super. Sky, my boy. You make physical stuff. That includes that you have to drag all of that with you from con to con and keeping stock. So, do and don'ts for starting out selling physical stuff on your website or at cons, or and at cons, or English.
Oh, geez, that's Right. Okay. So like real quick. Yeah. So invest in good suitcases.
Any you can recommend so people would know what?
No, just go to a store and try them out, and there you go. Everything you take in your suitcase is something you have to sell. So if you want to bring a board game with you, great. But remember that board game might weigh 2 pounds, and that's 2 pounds of merchandise you're not selling at the convention then.
Yes. So in those suitcases, what should they look for? Like, are they supposed to be squishy, hard? Are they long?
All to the user. I'm never going to say there's a right way or a wrong way to vend, unfortunately, because it's really what works for you. What works for me as a vendor will definitely not work for most other vendors. And you've seen my friends, too, like Igor at My Little Ties and you at Urasper. We're all very different styles. He likes hard shell suitcases. I like open top. It's all dependent on what you have, what kind of vendor you are, and just what works for you. There's no right or wrong way. And,
okay.
Unfortunately, with vending physically, you just got to try what works for you. You're gonna have a lot of cons. I think I went like 3 or 4 cons, just completely in the red, wasn't making $1 at it, and it's like, this is awful. And I just kept trying new things, kept switching it up until I found something that just works.
So to give people an example out there, what did work for you if you're comfortable telling us?
I mean, I stuck a train on my table. That's been going pretty well.
So
Conversation starter.
It sure is. I love it when people come over and go, so what's with the train? And I'm like, that's what's with the train. We have the spinny thing that, if you've ever seen it at a con, like, I don't know if anyone else here has ever been to conventions regularly. Someone said they went to BabsCon. That was you, right? Got your name. Oh my god.
Blackened?
That's the one.
Hey. What's
You
going
were
on?
at BabsCon, right?
Yeah.
Do you wander around the vendor hall at all?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Do you remember seeing the table with the train and the ties and all that stuff?
I think so.
That's alright. You could just humor me and say yes.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Either way, it's the thing that just have. It's visual. I stand behind my table as well. I don't sit behind my table like most vendors. It's just how I personally vend. I got insoles on my shoes so that way I can actually stand longer and not get as tired. It allows me to make eye contact with people. Allows me to talk directly to them, like, and project at them. It's very
You're engaging.
very much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not everyone has to do that. A very popular artist, for instance, that I'm great friends with, but not going to name names. She doesn't stand at all. She just sits, and people come to her, and it's great for her because it's great. It works. I'm not a super popular artist, so I can't do that.
Well, you make pretty amazing stuff, so people will trade. English, please.
It's sorry. I get what you're saying. I thank you for the compliment, but it's a passion of love and labor, and it's the end of the day. I'm just putting a lot of work into it, and yeah. Also, don't get frustrated if you get rejected from a convention. It happens. I get rejected still. It just happens. Keep applying, change your stuff up, and try again.
I've actually been thinking lately of trying to get into like craft fairs, which is much like convention vending, but local.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of knitting, and I'm like, oh, I'd love
too.
to sell some of that stuff. Yeah. So I was talking to a friend at work that she does that. She's like, yeah, they post on the radio when they're gonna have them, and people can apply, and sometimes you get turned down. I was like, okay, well, I'll stock up on some stuff and see how that goes.
Now what?
Okay, so if somebody comes to you and say, hey, I want to sell physical merch, where do I start?
I would assume, well, that depends. You want to open a store, or do you want to just go to conventions and do it? Completely different things. So, at least in America, because I can only speak for in America, because, I'm an American who vends in America. You have to, usually, if you're going to be making a shop at conventions, you need a tax number with the government because you owe some form of taxes. This is going to be income, you need to be paying taxes on it. Fortunately, I have an accountant who I just go to and just takes care of everything. Because good accountant. If you need an accountant, by the way, just send me a message. I'll give you a good accountant.
Yeah. Can your Twitter I think is that one in the server so I can plop that in so people can contact you on Twitter if they need a good accountant, because when you do this kind of stuff, yes, you do have to do taxes, and taxes are scary.
Yeah, not that bad. For the first 2 years, I did them without an accountant. Then I'm like, wow, it'd be so much easier if I got somebody else who knew what they're doing to help me. And it actually was another vendor who is now my accountant, Snuggle Trumpet, if you remember that one. They used to do jerseys back in the day. They're actually a certified accountant, and they've just been focusing more on that end of it.
See, I feel lucky because my mother was an accountant. She taught me to just keep a good record of like how much you're pricing this for and how much like you have to cover for like how much you have to adjust the cost for taxes and such. Keep an account of how much you made during this year. Then it'll be so much easier to file your taxes later.
That is true. That's something all three of you have to handle. Well, I think all three of you, because you do sell your music on Bandcamp, I think it was, Blackened?
Yeah.
So you also have to deal with taxes, prices, paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
So all three of you, like, how are you? Well, we know now that Sky has his accountant that helps him a lot. But how are what other things are handling this type of paperwork and responsibility advices can you guys give to others?
Mine is really basic, like, because usually I sell commissions, like, during a month, like, just a few months out of the year. At the end of that month, I'll look at my PayPal and all the payments I've got, and it's like, I made this much during the month, I'll just put that on a sticky note, put that on where I keep my tax documents, and then when I file the next year, I've got this list of numbers, and it's like, okay, this is how much I made that year, that's what I have to report for what I earned for that, and that's pretty much it. Just end of the month, I just rack it up. And I file with TurboTax, so that literally makes it easy.
Blackened?
Yeah, basically just keep a record of everything, and you'll be fine.
How do you keep a record? Like, if people like me have ADHD and that is not one of our hyper focuses, how would you recommend trying to keep track of everything?
Just try and remember that when the end of the month rolls around, just look at how much you made in that month, make a note of it, and then when tax payment comes around, you're fine, basically.
Yeah, like, if you use PayPal, like I just said, I just look at the end of the month at all my transactions, and I count up however much I made.
Yeah.
If you don't use PayPal, like, say you get paid physically, I guess, if you have, like, ADHD or something, just maybe put a physical place in your house, like a little file holder. And whenever you get paid, you just, like, write down on some paper, put something there in the same spot every time. Sometimes that's bad advice to give to someone with ADHD, but I don't know. Maybe it's something on a wall that never moves. I guess get yourself in a dedicated routine that every time you make a sale, just make sure there's a record of it somewhere so you can collect it up later.
That is a good advice. Like, either something you have to do every single time, or you have the reminder, or multiple reminders in spots that you end up seeing, even if you're not looking for something.
Yeah, that's like in my office, I've got a specific place where I put my tax documents because, like, during the year, I don't think about taxes. When I receive something in the mail, it's like, oh yeah, this has something to do with your taxes. It's like, okay, I'm not going to use this for 8 months. I'm going to put it in this spot so it doesn't go missing. So it won't be lost when I actually need it.
Yep, that is a good thing. Yeah, now over to software or things you used to you choose to use when you make stuff.
I believe in you.
That was adorable. Your accent made it so cute.
Somebody clipped that, I guess. Oof though. So yeah, Myth, my dear, you use drawing programs and visual editing, maybe?
I only use Movie Maker to edit, but I don't really animate things very often. I started, like, when I first got into digital art, I used a program called Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, and I still have that program because it adds text to my drawings really easily. But several years ago, I upgraded to Paint Tool Sci. That I can't even go into all the features it has, but it's really detailed. It's really good. It makes really clean art, and it's not like so much stuff that I'm overwhelmed. Like everything is well labeled. This is the pencil. This is the airbrush. This is how you scale. This is how you rotate. And I had to use it for about 2 years before I actually unlocked all the features. Like there's this one thing that's really useful for me called preserve opacity, which means basically you take a blank layer, you draw something on it, you click on preserve opacity. Now all the pixels you've drawn are the only things on that layer that can be changed. Anything in the blank area, nothing will change.
That sounds luxury and magic. Teach me.
Yeah, that's like a selection tool, but it's so much easier because you don't have to constantly keep that select. Yeah, it's got a color slider. It does everything I could want except adding text. And I'm sure people have modded a way to add text through Paint Tool Sci. I just don't like to mess with mods in case I break my art program. So I just make my drawings in Paint Tool Sci, then I put them in Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, I add the text, and there you go, it's done.
Very nice. So, is there anywhere people can get those tools that you are using that you can recommend?
I've heard some people talk about a free or experimental download of Paint Tool Sci, like maybe it's a prototype or something. I don't trust free downloads personally. I think I just, whenever I go to a new computer, I have the original license that I bought to use the program, and it has the website wherever I'll find it.
Thank you.
The website has a step-by-step instructions on how to reinstall the license that you've already bought on the new computer without having to pay for it again. Let me see Windows. Yeah. painttoolsci.en.softonic.com. But yeah, you select what kind of computer you use, yada yada, install it.
Yeah.
I think the first time I bought it, it cost around 70 something US dollars. Then some years later, I couldn't figure out how to reinstall it, and I bought it again, and it was going for like 60 something, so it may have dropped in price.
So with that, you would also need a drawing pad.
Yeah, a tablet. Oh, I forgot about the tablet. I completely forgot about the most necessary part. Yeah. I know a lot of people who use like Intuos or this. Not sure what it is, but the kind where you draw directly on the screen. I don't. I use a Wacom Bamboo. I think it's a Pro. Yeah, Wacom. Nope, Wacom Intuos Pro. I used to use a Bamboo. So it's pretty much a big plastic pad, like a mouse pad that comes with a pen, and you just hover over the mouse pad like a pen, and it shows on your screen what you're doing.
That
so
sounds
I'm not drawing
cool.
directly on the screen, but it is a one-to-one, like using a computer mouse but a pen. I love the pen.
Can you get this on Amazon or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ordered this one on Amazon. I used to be able to get these for like 35 bucks a piece. The first one, the one I have now, was a little over 100. So I think the baseline for how much tablets cost is going up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's starting to be more and more luxury, I guess.
Let's see. Into a phone tablet. Okay. Oh yeah. The one I've got here, it looks like it's going for about $300 now. I am lucky I got it when I did, and that it's lasted so long. Yeah.
Expensive!
It is expensive. It's 3 times more expensive than what I paid for it.
So, yeah, unless people are going into work-wise drawing, could you recommend something a bit more starter-friendly?
Yeah, well, for one thing, people will resell their tablets later on. Like, if they upgrade, or if they downsize, or if they, like, switch to a different computer and they don't want to if people resell their tablets and they're still working well, they will sell them at a reasonable price. Also, I'm scrolling down. There are some shops that are like, here's eBay selling one for $30 used, much, much more reasonable. Let me see, here's one coming from techin.com for like $70, much, much more reasonable. Like
Links, so I can share it to people.
Oh, I just Googled it. I just Googled Wacom Intuos Pro tablet and then clicked on the shopping tab. I can give you the link though. This is gonna be a long Google link.
Ah, that's fair. Also the drawing program where people could buy it.
Oh yeah. Toolsci. Oh, that was on here. Where was it? Where'd it go? I lost it.
No.
Sorry. Is this the same website? This is the same website. Oh, look at that old website. I remember this.
It's been a while. Hello there.
Hasn't changed in like 10 years.
Also, we have a question from Snowy Motorcycle. Question for Myth and Skygunner.
Go with SkyRailRoad, not Skygunner. I really don't use that name anymore.
What do you use now?
SkyRailRoad's the name of my business.
SkyRailRoad?
Railroad. Yeah.
We can just say Sky.
Sky. Yeah, I'm gonna use Sky. So, what do you guys like to draw the most? Seems like to be the question.
Horses. I like drawing horses.
I do like drawing ponies because they're very cute, but also they've been getting really into Dungeons and Dragons because the characters are like really detailed.
May I ask why that is your guys' preferable drawing thing?
Just drawing what you like, you know? It's fun to draw.
Yeah. Like what got me started in drawing ponies was because, like many years ago, I went through a very bad breakup and I was really depressed a lot over like multiple things were going wrong in my life. And I just started watching the show and I'm like, that's really cute. That's really colorful. I want to draw some of that because I bet I can't be sad when I'm drawing something that adorable. So I started drawing ponies. And they're just, they're cute. They're very aesthetically nice.
Okay. Blackened.
Yeah.
So, for people making music, they do have to put it in the computer after a while. Can you recommend mics for that use programs and like starting out instruments? If there is any recommendations there.
Squire guitars are really nice, cheap instruments. What else? Cheap style microphones, I'd go with the Audio-Technica AT2020. It's cheap and reliable. It's great for starting off.
Do you have a link to a page where people can find this type of equipment, or?
It'll vary from like location to location. I can find something on my location. 1 second. Oh yeah, Amazon, that'll do.
That works.
I just pulled this out because I got a guitar last, I think winter before last. Have not learned to play it. Started learning a few notes, got distracted, as most people do. But I did get a professional mic for recording it.
Ooh,
don't know if I'm
nice.
going to pronounce this wrong. I think it's the Weiser. W-E-I-S-R-E. It's a WM101A. It's like a little clip-on microphone.
I think I need to see a picture. I'm not that well known in the mics. I only know about the Red and the Yeti.
Oh, let me change my opinion. Yes. See if I can get a Google picture instead of taking one with my phone. You know what? Phone faster. Okay.
Honestly, Amazon's really not the worst place to look for starting things.
Amazon has so much stuff. correct server. Don't push this into a random server.
Questions of the day. Why did we get a random mic from Myth today?
You know, just felt cute, felt like posting a mic. Might delete it later.
Oh my gosh. That's the new meme.
Well, that's an old meme. Felt cute, might delete later. That's an old meme by now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Pictures are going through. This is the mic that I naively bought because I thought, okay, I'll just record myself doing some very amateur guitar riffs and it'll make like a nice background noise for videos.
I'm seeing super professional microphone.
It's super professional.
You know it's professional because it says it on the box.
Box wouldn't lie.
I feel like this box may be lying to me.
Maybe, just maybe.
Any opinions out there?
Let me do a quick search. Easy microphone.
I'm pretty sure I just bought one that was affordable.
I'm just like, it says super, it should be.
Well, I could write Fine China on my backside, but that doesn't mean I am.
It's quite cheap, but it's a lavalier microphone. It's not something you usually use in the studio or anything. It's just something you plug into like a phone or a camera and it'll do the job.
That's what I figured, it's an at-home thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the kind of mics that news anchors have attached to their like shirts?
Yeah. See,
It's one of those.
I like watching like the Markiplier makes videos, and I'm like, oh, that's the kind of thing they use, so that should work fine.
Yeah. They plug that into like a sound desk or a camera, some kind of external device, and that's how they get the sound.
Yeah. Small motorcycle is a question. I do like to draw MLP, and I also draw mythical creatures. I just end up drawing more ponies because I can draw them a lot faster.
Super professional microphone.
I don't have any recent non-pony artwork. Let's see.
The Blackened.
Oh hey.
I am genuinely curious how you make a song.
It varies, but sometimes I just start off by playing a guitar riff, I record it, then I build a song around that. So basically just something like...
We cannot hear your guitar.
If you're playing your guitar, we can't hear it.
Yeah, maybe it's just if I start talking, you'll be able to hear it or something.
Yeah, if your voice is going, you can sometimes hear people's background noise, or you can turn off Discord for sensitivity to voice.
Let me try that real quick.
And silence has occurred.
Okay. Can you hear it?
Nope.
No.
I didn't think so. It's just really hard to get through.
Discord doesn't like music today.
Let me try and place it right here. That probably won't work either.
Oh!
Hey!
Hey!
Alright, we can work with this.
Ooh.
I like that sound.
We get a flashback from rock country. Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, that reminds me of going to bars when I was younger. There's a lot of rock country in the bars.
Well, it's not, I didn't go to much bars, but, you know, when you live around a lot of other farms, they sometimes like, hey, let's go to the barn and put out some giant speakers and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very redneck American. I've had the whole experience.
Ooh, pretty oofer.
Yeah. That's something non-pony that's a mythical creature drawn recently.
So, if it's okay, can I ask about the picture? Like...
Oh, yeah. This was a commission from Doji Crimson? Dog-Eye Crimson? Doji Crimson. I've read it both ways. For his D&D campaign, this is a Arctic Wolf Queen, surrounded by her followers.
So why does the other oofers looks like spirits or shadows?
I think that's just kind of the vibe it was going for. Like, this is very magic, and she's very regal, and they're just kind of her followers, her muscle.
Ah, okay. Still very pretty, and I love all the details. So you can really see it in the fur.
Mm-hmm.
Must have
Yeah, so I
taken
said,
you at
like-
least a week.
I mean, between when I started and when I finished, it definitely took a couple of weeks, but the amount of time I put into this specifically was probably around 8 hours.
Wow.
Probably less. I'm not sure. I'm kind of a speed artist, so how long it takes me to draw something is not the same as everyone else.
That is fair. And also, if you do feel very motivated, it can like whee!
The eyes just came out so magical in that piece.
Yeah, they are really piercing. Really good job.
But yeah, this is one of the reasons I like drawing D&D stuff, because like this is so detailed and so like magical and like otherworldly. I guess wolves are real, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, what kind of audio software do you recommend Blackened? I don't think you said anything about that.
Oh, my music software of choice is Reaper. It's easy to work with and it's free. Well, kind of free.
What do you mean by kinda? I didn't like that kinda.
Well, the core software itself is free, but you need to buy a license after 60 days. Although it doesn't force you to do it. It's just like a thing pops up that reminds you to do it. It only lasts on screen for like 5 seconds.
Ah, okay.
But beyond that, there's no obstructions. It is essentially free, and it's easy to work with, like I said.
Snowy Motorcycle, please don't use this chat to advertise yourself. Just letting you know before you try posting links or anything.
I'm not sure if it'll let them, because when I tried to post a link, it showed up as asterisks.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot, I have the safety.
Yeah, well, still, yeah, it's good to teach etiquette.
Yeah. Just, you know, like... Brain, why?
It's okay.
Well, distraction. Sky.
Reindeer.
Oh, reindeers, I like reindeers. Nej. Ja, Sky? Reindeers, do you like the reindeers?
I mean, like, what aspect of reindeer are we talking about here?
Myth.
Like in general, as a creature, great.
Oh, brain, why do you forsake me? Yes. In general, as animals, what they do in nature, and if you could have a reindeer as a pet, would you?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
I don't have room for a reindeer.
Same.
Like an outdoor pet.
Like maybe back when I lived in the country and had a pasture, maybe then. Well, okay, very important distinction. Does this reindeer fly, or is it a normal reindeer?
You have to roll a die and see.
Where's my dice? I have dice. Okay, like a 6-sided die or a D20 die? What am I rolling
D20.
here?
D20. And, okay, yeah, you have to rule over...
I got a 10.
No!
Does it fly?
No, you had to defeat the spell save, which was 15.
Okay, alright. Non-flying reindeer. If I lived in the country, maybe. Right now, no.
That's fair. Wait, Sky, you play D&D, don't you have any dice with you?
Of course I have dice with me, but that's not the point.
Excuse you, the DM tells you to
don't
roll,
wanna
you
find out
roll.
if your reindeer can fly?
I'm not gonna have the reindeer regardless if it can fly or not. If it could, I would just sell it.
What? Don't sell the reindeer, take care of reindeer.
Really
Betrayal!
If you can't take care of the reindeer, then that's actually worse, putting them in an environment where they won't have adequate care. If you sell them to someone, that person can take care of the reindeer, because they probably do have a place where they can adequately care for it.
But still roll to see if... Still roll to see if your reindeer could fly?
I rolled a 2.
The reindeer runs away.
Oh, you don't get to sell it either. Oh, that's a shame.
I feel so bad.
I mean, you could sell like a license, like an owner's license. Of the reindeer. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
no.
you own it now.
No!
I really need to do sell licenses though.
It's officially yours. I just don't have it in my possession.
I just don't have it in my inventory at the moment.
What's weird earlier,
Shadow
we were all
reindeer.
talking about like inventory. It's like I don't actually track all my inventory. There are times where I go to conventions and I just find stuff like, wow, I thought I sold all of these years ago. Guess I'll take it.
He has like stray inventory.
You have like a storage room where you keep this stuff.
Oh god, yes, I have a storeroom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
like
another
a rental
thing.
storage thing, or like in your place of the place where you live.
Ska jag sitta
We
där?
call it a basement.
Nej, jag tror inte
Okay.
alla vi som tänkte spela så bör du säkert det. Tack.
Yeah, it's just a storeroom full of plastic tubs and stuff. They're all labeled and everything, but occasionally, like, I just stop selling some things, and I have things left over. So rather than bring 2 things to the convention, I just throw it into a single bin, forget about the bin for a year or 2, and then go, oh, cool.
Yeah, and then you bring it to a card and type on the box like box of mystery.
I call it the eclectic collection.
Ooh.
I actually shy away from doing blind boxes and stuff like that. I feel like they're kind of unfair to buy.
No. I didn't mean like a blind box, but like the box of mystery would just have all the random things that you only
Like a
have
bin
like
bin?
5. Yeah, it's like a bin that you just dig through and see if you find something
Yeah,
interesting.
absolutely.
I love
about that
those.
Sequestria Fest, which was the most recent. Is it the most recent? Yeah, most recent pony convention.
Wait, Sky, aren't you coming to Galacon too?
I am coming to Galacon, yes.
Can you please bring the box of mystery? I want to take a look.
I'm afraid I can't. It's quite hard already getting me stuff to Germany, so like it's gonna
Okay, I
be
have a dumb idea.
harder to bring like a bunch of random stuff to me.
I
Sad.
have a very dumb idea.
Can I have a picture of the mystery box? Please?
Yeah, you take a picture from like straight above and just do claw machine. She selects where she wants to go. You roll a d20 to see if it succeeds, and you bring that much for the get.
It's more of like a not physical box. Like the stuff just kind of congeals in places, and I find it eventually. It's not one sole place of things.
Okay, so it's not enough for the box to be filled up, basically.
If I had all the random stuff and put it in a box, then yes, but I don't have that. Again, it's just everything.
Why have you not done it? It would have been so much fun.
I guess I just don't like fun.
Sky!
It sounds like a long, sprawling organizational system.
Where everything is, and that's what matters.
Well, that's fair. So yeah, you have physical stuffies. How do you get the physical stuffy, or how do you make the physical stuffies? And even more important, what do you use to make the physical stuffies?
Right, well, it depends on what it is. If it's a Daki or a toilet paper cozy, I have a factory in China that I've been working with for about 5 or 6 years now. They kind of love me and invited me over to tour the factory, which at
Wow.
one point I probably will if I ever end up there, which is a possibility. But Japan, you just hop over from Japan to China for a day. Too.
Skip
but
and a jump.
It's much closer than if I were to just fly straight from here.
That
But,
is true.
Yeah, it's a factory I trust on that. For some of my other things, I make them here in my own workshop, which is the room right next to me. I got a wood turning lathe. There's like a whole wood workshop in there. And then for any of the metal stuff that we engrave, that's actually done in New York City at my friend's apartment because he owns the lasers to engrave. I just head up there and laser them. I do it all manually though.
Resist
Love
to make the pew
engraving
pew.
lasers.
Yes. That's one of the things with production is you have to consider your costs, and if you make it yourself, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be cheaper. But that does mean you have to have the means of production there. Not means of production. So you then have to outweigh the cost. One of the most common things people buy is like a button maker or a pin maker, I guess is what you call them in Europe.
I've seen those.
And they can run upwards $500, lower end $30, depending on the quality of the one you want. and that's like the easiest like entry level, because all you need is the maker, pinbacks, and a printer, and you can make your own merch instead of buying it from somewhere else, which might charge you upwards of $1 or $1 change each.
Okay, so the face masks are also from the factory?
Yes, they are from my fabric factory, yes.
Yeah, okay. So that covers the bottle openers, that covers the fabric stuff. Yeah, like how do you make the cards? That's another thing.
That is from another factory. Actually, I'll say the name of that one because like I like that factory and it doesn't benefit anyone else to not have it. It's called MakePlayingCards.com. Yeah, if you ever need to make cards, there you go. Though I would still suggest you order through me because I get a discount that actually would outweigh how much they owe because I just spend so much money with them.
Yeah, that's fair. I was more thinking like
That's
if
nice.
people wanted to make their own card game or other things. So it's always fun to know. But yeah, if you want Pran's card, I recommend going to Sky. He has a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, we still are. Prince is still in holding right now. We'll have some new sets, but no custom stuff for right now, at least a little bit.
Yeah, because you can actually make your own cards, as it's told.
In a little bit, you will be.
I'm glad I got my solar flare card when I did.
Sky, well, how, like, for people who want to have their own cards included, there are different types of cards they can have made, aren't there?
I mean, typically you would get the OC symbol because you're putting your OC in the game. That's what the symbol's for. There's some exceptions, some that I usually don't bend on, but sometimes I do. Like, if someone has a dragon, then I'll give them the dragon symbol because there's also a whole nother deck of Prance for furries, which has dragons in it, so that's neither here nor there as far as I'm concerned. But if you wanted to put your OC in as like an alicorn, like, well, no. The alicorn's like the best card in game. You don't get to be an alicorn like the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't want to make them too OP. But then again, we also have the YouTubers.
Well, that was a set. That set's actually not sold anymore. So that symbol's actually defunct. If you have it, good for you. But no, when all the YouTubers wanted to make their own cards, I helped them with that. And they just they don't do the YouTuber symbol anymore. They just use, well, Lightning Bliss uses her own symbol, and all the rest just use OC.
Okay.
We did have one person who wanted their own set, like, of all their friends and stuff, and I allowed a symbol for that because it's just for your friend group. I don't care. You're not going to be selling it. It's not going to really ruin the distribution of the game or anything, so that didn't matter to me. And they got their own special symbol. It looked kind of like a fuzzy hairball.
Aww, that's cute.
That sounds nice.
It worked.
So there is. So for people who doesn't know the card game, do you want to try to explain it and explain some of the symbols?
I mean, that's not really into making things anymore. I mean, I could, but that's just really just an add-on for my game at that point, which
yeah, that's true.
I don't think is what we need right now.
So that
I could tell you how to like make a card game though.
Yeah, people might be interested in that. Go ahead.
So the most recent one, I actually have about 3 games that are in testing right now because I've been bored the last few years for some reason. And I've just been making games, and to start with it, you just kind of think of what you want to do, and then you build the rules around that. I know this is like the dumbest explanation, but the most recent one was actually based off of spaceships fighting each other. I wanted a dice rolling game. Cards come in later. So I just was like, okay, I have dice. What can I do with dice? Well, if you do numbers, all right, you can add and subtract numbers. Well, okay, that makes sense in the sense of like things blowing each other up in space. Okay, so it's a spaceship game. And that was just it. We just started making a rule set of how you can modify numbers with dice, and it just kind of evolved into a game from that.
Cool. So I think this has covered the important parts of content and how to put it out and how to
Properly?
Thank you. Make sure it can be seen by others. So I want to ask a little bit about, because I don't remember if I did, and if I did, sorry. Why did you guys start putting it out on the internet? The things that you do.
My comic, like, I've always been a writer. Like, I talk in stories. So I always have, like, I'm making up stories in my head, and I'll, like, write down certain instances. And there was a common theme to a lot of the stuff I wrote, and I'm like, I kind of have this one bad issue in my mind. It's like, I really want to get into it and process it, because it's coming into a lot of my writing. And, like I said, when I started getting into ponies, I was, like, very depressed, and I got into them because it made me feel better. There was a point, like, I did into ponies for several years, and then I kind of creatively crashed again, and I'm like, if I do something new, is it actually going to make me happy? Is it going to be interesting? It's like, you know what, maybe instead of looking for happiness, let's just hash out whatever the heck this is in my brain that I find so weird. And I made this character named Dreamweaver, who's the main character of my comic, and it's like, I'm just kind of going to put her through the stuff I go through mentally, and just see what happens. And I just had her do a bunch of stuff that I thought was fun and interesting. It's like, you know what? I want her to do more stuff. I'm seeing, like, a whole story come up here. So that's how I got to doing that. It's like, I think this is fun. I'm gonna do it. And I don't want to just do it by myself. I think other people would be, like, entertained by this, so I'm gonna put it out. And that kind of touches on something I was gonna mention earlier. When Sky was talking about when you vend, like, you stand up, you make eye contact, you have interesting stuff on your table, you're very engaging. And Blackened, you mentioned, what was it? Like regularly posting and, like, making your own sound because you didn't hear it in the fandom.
Yeah.
It's like, when you get started, it's a good idea. Do something that catches your attention that you specifically think is really good and fun for you, because someone else will also like whatever that is. So it's like, instead of playing to what everyone else wants, like, oh, a lot of people are really into this game or this movie or something, I'm going to make related fan work. It's like, I'm going to make what I like, and I'm going to attract other people who like what I like. I'm going to enjoy myself a lot more.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, I took my issues, and I looked at them through another lens to help me work through them, and it's like, I like this. I bet other people would like this. Like, maybe someone else has this issue too, and they need to work through it. Sorry, that was a rant.
Yeah, that's alright.
Now it's your guys' turn.
Okay, basically, what was the question again?
I was hoping you remembered.
Why did you get started in doing this and putting your stuff out there?
Oh yeah, basically to fill a need for myself, and basically just to fill a niche in the fandom. Mainly just to satiate my own desires of putting content out there. It's like, I don't want to hoard content and just leave it on my computer. I might as well show it to someone. Plus there's the whole thing of, like, I listen to, like, fandom music, and there was a specific sound I wasn't hearing, so I did it myself. Which is another good way of getting yourself out there. Filling a niche. You might have something in mind that you want to do, but that some people might have already done that. So if you're doing something different, then you'll stand out more, and people will notice, and they might take a liking to you.
Yeah. I just heard the advice of the day, like, no one sees the world the way that you do, even if what you want to do is similar to someone else's. It's never been done your way before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the old phrase, like I mentioned, if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty damn good, I think.
Nu får jag en flaska.
Ja.
Tusen tack.
Oh, something we haven't touched at all, I think, is when creators criticize the stuff that they have made, or they have made, it's like, you write something, or you draw something, or if you make something, and then, like, a couple days later, you're like, oh, I don't like that I did this detail, I don't like how this one looks, or this thing sounds. It's like, a lot of people get hung up on, this isn't good enough, or I wish I'd done it better, and that is not a good mindset. Like, it's very important to keep yourself focused on moving forward, or like, I don't like this detail, and then tell yourself, I'm gonna do it differently next time. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna keep changing it. Like my D&D character, my like main like Sona character to represent me. Every time I draw her, it's slightly different because I haven't decided on something I like yet. Instead of being like, I can't design her right, it's like, I'm just gonna try something different next time. Like, don't get hung up on like anything wrong when instead you can just go forward and make something that you like even more.
Absolutely. And if you're working on something and you're not liking the results, but you've already done some stuff with it, try sleeping on it for a bit. Come back to it later, and you might find, you've actually done something you like.
Yeah.
That's happened to me with music before. Sometimes I've written something, like maybe I've been working on a song for quite some time, and it just sounds awful to me. But then I decide to take a break and come back to it, and I'm like, oh no, it's actually not that bad. It's like a fatigue kind of thing. You get used to something so long, you just kind of become numb to it. So you take a break, you come back with a fresh mindset, and you might be pleasantly surprised with the result.
Alternatively, you can always just share what you have, because a fresh pair of eyes might find something right or wrong with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're always going to be your own worst critic.
Like, something we have on Chris's server, and I'm in another server that's a lot of artists are together. I'm really grateful to have that group of friends, because we all know what it's like to make digital art and to make content and to post on these websites. So we're very good at telling each other, hey, don't overwork yourself or you'll burn out. Hey, like, take a break from social media sometimes to do this. Or if someone proposes a new idea, we'll be like, oh yeah, you could go like this method of doing it, or you could like try these things, or I bet someone's doing a collab if you wanna like add this idea, like bounce ideas off of each other. So it's really fun to have like a little network of other creative people that you can like hash things out with.
Yeah. And plus, with a fresh set of ears or eyes or whatever, you could have someone spot things that you didn't see before, like a mistake in a video.
For grammar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grammar.
Proofreaders, basically.
Oh, it's so helpful having proofreaders.
I don't know how many times I've posted a new comic page, and then I'll like post it, leave for an hour, come back, and 2 people have already commented, hey, you misspelled this word. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's always those moments where you can't go back and change it. I hate it.
Mm.
I have an entire card I printed that has the word bourbon spelled wrong on it.
Oh no.
That's alright, I don't sell that one anyway.
So, guys, what's been your favorite moments in the stuff you guys do?
I would say just being able to go out to conventions, meeting everyone, performing in front of people. It's a lot of fun. I never thought I'd be up there doing it, but life's full of surprises. Yeah.
Dude.
In fact, I've done 2 this month.
Okay.
I did one in my home country at a convention called the British Isles, and I also did one in Italy, not even a week ago.
Wow.
Were you at
Is that...
what's it called, Blackened?
Blackened, yeah. That was the first time that convention took place, and the organizers did a really good job.
It seemed like a...
It really was. Probably the best first con I've been to.
Nej, alltså det var fortsatt
And I haven't been
plats
to many.
I binne.
Are you doing Galacon?
Yeah.
Do you drink?
Yeah.
Ah, we will have to meet together for a drink then.
Oh, hell yeah. I've actually been doing a 6-month detox from January 1st to July 1st. So, every con I've been to this year rather, I've not been able to drink. Because I'm trying to stay sober for 6 months. But when Galacon rolls around, yeah, I'm going to be drinking. Not a lot at first, but when I'm done performing, yeah, I am going to be drinking.
Fair enough. Let us know.
You should have seen me at Everfree Encore.
I assume you were plastered.
Honestly, yeah, Everfree Encore, which was in September, it's another German event for those who don't know.
I do know.
I'm mainly sending about music. I wager to say that other than perform, I did nothing but drink. I was basically drinking every day. The musicians were entitled to free drinks, and I took advantage of that. So I was just constantly ordering like tequila sunrises, Jack Cokes, whatever beer they had, cider, all that stuff. And yeah, I was just drunk.
I like
24/7.
Love hearing it when Europeans say they can order mixed cocktails, because I always do them there.
Cocktails are good.
Cocktails are the best.
Personally, I don't drink.
That's alright, that's what mocktails are for.
Yeah.
I love
Mocktails.
virgin cocktails. I love mixed drinks, I just can't do the alcohol.
That's a mocktail though. They don't have alcohol in them.
The Griffish Isles drink menu for the first day had one mocktail, so I just ordered that a lot. And it saved my ass.
I think one of my favorite moments was, it's been a lot of little moments, because when I post the comic, it's like, just, like, a page at a time, like, per week, if I get them out per week. So it's not a lot of progress very fast, it's not like a webtoon. But then when I've started seeing people, like, forming theories and going back to information that was already posted, and that, like, oh my god, they're actually paying attention to what I'm making. Dude.
That's always my favorite part. When people actually care about what you're doing, it just means you made enough of an impact. Enough of an impact on people to where they actually want to pay attention to what you're doing.
That's great.
The impact is just incredible. Okay, what else do we do while Chris is gone? Do we, like, take over her entire channel and rule it for our own?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, another moment, which doesn't happen too often, but the last two conventions, after my performances, at least one artist would come up to me with a piece of art they'd drawn for me, specifically for me. God, I love it when it happens. I don't get gift art all that often, but I have a few physical pieces of my horse, which I'm really grateful for.
So I was just thinking, your icon on Discord looks like so detailed. Like, you remember who made that one?
Yeah,
D-Vixie?
Yeah, I'm probably pronouncing their name wrong, but they go by Hiro Zaki.
That sounds
That's
familiar.
their name on Twitter. They're an Estonian artist, and they're really good.
I actually don't know them, dude. Looking them up.
It was actually a piece of gift art that they drew for me one day. Oh yeah, another really cool moment. At the first time I went to Griffish Isles, which was in November 2021, one of the concert goers was wearing a battle jacket. You know what those are, right?
No.
Big leather.
Basically a leather jacket. No, not leather jacket. Denim jacket with the sleeves cut off, and there's like patches all over it. Patches of like band logos. Someone made a custom badge of my logo, and they sewed it to their jacket.
That's so cool.
It's like, is what I do good enough to have bootleg merch made of it?
I guess so. You made it, man.
Yeah, I approve.
You've arrived and people steal from you.
Oh, good. Chris is here.
Hi. Sorry for break off.
It's okay. You need to take care of yourself. So we talked about how we started getting into this stuff. We talked about some of the favorite moments. These two made plans to go drinking at a convention.
Well, that's nice, as long as they drink responsibly.
It's impossible for you not to drink responsibly.
Oh, it's very possible to drink irresponsibly.
Just ask me at Everfree Encore.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who knows me at Everfree Encore knows I did nothing but drink.
Yeah. So, that's where we've been, Chris.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better than the place I went to.
We totally didn't take over your channel.
I see. So that's why there are like a few holes and some patching here and there.
No holes. No holes.
Well, I do appreciate the demon bunnies.
Oh yeah.
Yes, all
Those
half
just
that's
go
of
wherever
fluff.
I go.
Yeah, they're
You know, if
like
they actually stay here, it'll be a blessing. They'll stop following me.
yeah.
Anyway.
I should really try to find some vectors of those demon bunnies from G4, not G5. If you have seen the G5 movie, they're like the small. They are quite adorable looking, fluffy balls
Were they the
of
ones like
fur.
up on the mountain? Like
Yes.
near the Pegasus City?
And giant ears,
Oh.
and then they use their ears to clap, which confuses me on so many levels. That's why I call them demon bunnies, because you're clapping with the same thing you hear. You should be deaf.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
It's
They're
just-
still
Optional eardrums.
still less creepy than the dragon in the new pony thing.
Yeah,
Talk about it, right?
that animation was not
Yes.
as good.
I thought, without going into spoilers, I thought the animation was a bit wonky at times. Aside from Izzy's voice actress, everyone did a great job.
Yeah, I sadly have to agree with you there. Like, Izzy did not sound the same, and even when the voice actor did her best to try to go up high pitch, like, oh, I don't remember her name, but the original voice actor did. She's
Kimiko Glenn.
yes,
Glenn?
thank you. So
She's great.
yeah, like I think the voice actor did as good as they could, but sadly weren't able to match, which is not their fault. Everybody has their
Range.
yes.
As far as I'm aware, the new voice actress for Izzy is quite new to the acting industry, whereas Kimiko Glenn has a lot of experience, including, if I'm not mistaken, Broadway.
Ooh.
She's done Centaur World. She does a
Yeah, I
lot
was
of
gonna
things
say.
with that.
I only
She's
remember her voice.
fantastic. Oh yeah,
I was
Centaur
just
World is another
watching
piece of media.
Centaur World before this.
Oh yeah, Centaur World is another piece of media where Kimiko Glenn plays a talking, singing horse.
She has a lot of horses, don't she?
Yeah.
They came out so close to each other too, because we had Centaur World Season 1, and then the G5 movie, and then Centaur World Season 2, like within 6 months.
Of all the voices that didn't come back to G5, I'm surprised they didn't get Kimiko Glenn, because she does a lot of Netflix projects like Centaur World, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if Hasbro can afford Tara Strong for a decade, I don't see why they can't bring back Kimiko Glenn.
Maybe if this has a season of success, maybe she'll come back.
I'd love to see
I was
that.
yeah, we'll see. Because you mentioned the animation. So I've been trying to remain optimistic and thinking, well, it's not going to be movie grade. It's going to be an animated series. It always drops down. But maybe what we're seeing is early works. They're going to polish it up a little more.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, G4, when it started off, didn't look that amazing either. The animation was also quite rough. The colors were quite flat. The writing was on the
People
nose at
complain
times.
about it so much.
But I still love it.
Yeah, it had charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the, at least the first season had some of the G1 episodes made into G4 material, which I actually found very, how was it said? I find very appealing, I think the right word is, because I'm a G1 fan.
They paid homage to their roots through the show.
Yeah, I like that. I approve.
Like, they're kind of doing that with the new one as well, because they brought back Posey, who was G1, I believe.
Yep, she is.
I don't want to get negative, but I am really hoping that the show doesn't just, the new show doesn't just get rid of everything that happened in G4, because that has been one of the biggest complaints so far. But they're just letting go of all that. Like,
Yeah.
of course they're making nods to the main six, but so much of the world has changed and they didn't explain why, and I know it's supposed to be explained in the series. It's like, I really hope they do explain it in the series. We do get a good reasoning for this. And they didn't just wipe the slate clean to be like, no, get rid of that. We're starting new.
No, I think
Yeah,
one of the main things... Sorry.
Yes?
Black?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the whole big part of A New Generation was, like, so many callbacks to G4. like there are so many questions that have gone unanswered, or maybe even unasked at this point, where it's like there is no way the show is gonna go on without at least some explanation of what happened. Like, where are the crystal ponies? Where's Sombra? Where's Twilight Sparkle? Where is etc.
One of the things they said when they started making this was that they had this they had this lore-rich world that they wanted to build off on, but they needed to do something new. And I'm, again, one of the lore horses who have watched the movie 30 times. So I've seen a lot of details. One of them is also the memory stone from one of the Equestria Girl specials, where if you take someone's memories for more than 3 days, it gets permanently deleted. And that was on the father's billboard?
On the wall in the lighthouse.
Yeah, where everything was trying to be connected and stuff. And it's like there's so many hints to that this might have been many moons ago, yes, but not necessarily 10,000 moons ago. It can be maybe 50 or 500 or similar to that. So we may not see the main 6 or something, but I don't think it's that far back, to be honest.
Yeah. Aside from many moons ago, we were never given like a genuine or exact time frame for how far in the past G4 was. Just many moons ago.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I'm trying to stay optimistic. Like, I'm really hoping that they pull out something that is just a great story. Like, real fun reasoning. Like, delivers the feels, because the movie gave me feels.
Yeah, I gave a lot of feels. And for me, it's like, it has to, or I would love if it stays logical, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just random thing from nowhere 552. It's actually something that makes sense. Sky, you have been quite quiet.
You're having your conversation. There's not much I can really add to it that you're not already saying.
Well, what do you think? What are you hoping for? What are you afraid of? Why do you think Izzy has a shorter mane in the new special compared to the movie?
I don't sweat the details and stuff like that. In the end of the day, I very, very loudly trumpeted that G4, while the show was great, was carried by the fandom. That's what the fandom did. It was all the community content that the Bronies made, not necessarily the show made. And if the show did something that Bronies didn't like, then we just kind of ignored it.
Well, yeah, that's the power of the community.
Exactly. So I'm not really too perturbed which way Gen 5 goes. If it turns out worse, we'll just make it better on our own. And if it gets better, we'll just keep doing what we do.
Yeah. But is there anything you're looking forward to, or...?
I don't really speculate. I wait and see what comes along.
Okay. So then I'm gonna flip it on the head. Do you have a favorite pony from G5?
Izzy.
Well, yeah.
Izzy!
Stupid question, I know.
Obviously, not current.
I guess I should have said, who's your favorite pony and why is it Izzy?
She was the best horse. They were all fine. It's just when you compared everyone to each other, like that one.
Yeah.
She's adorable, creative, optimistic.
Woodpecker.
If you look at Izzy and you think, no, you've automatically failed.
Izzy was kind of the driving force in that, because she received that little letter that was in the little
lantern.
What is it? Lantern? Yeah. Like, because of that, like, she traveled to Maritime Bay, she started all this happening, and then she was kind of afraid to go any further than that. But then because she's got the ball rolling, everything actually happened.
Yeah.
Plus fantastic singing voice.
Yes. A lot of good songs came out of that movie. But I'm surprised that it was that many songs, though.
Yeah, I liked some of the songs.
Surprised.
I like some of the songs from the movie, but I missed the more show tunesy stuff that G4 had.
Yeah, I really like the show tunes.
They were.
She's got a voice for show tunes, but yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the songs in the movie were fine, but not as memorable or catchy as the G4 ones.
I think I was a bit spoiled though, because before I watched A New Generation, I'd already seen like most of the first season of Centaur World. The songs in that are absolutely phenomenal.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when she said she's got a show-tuned voice.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Years of Broadway will do that to you.
Because I was just binging that before we started talking.
That's fair. So have all three of you seen Centaur World?
I actually have not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Not that it doesn't look fun, it's just like I don't have time to watch it.
Okay, that's fair.
So for me and Sky, who has not seen it, what is the biggest appeal of Centaur World?
It's actually like it's one of those shows that has a season-long story arc, you know, kind of like Adventure Time. It's not really something you can sit down and watch, like just pick on a random episode and go, this is gonna make sense. It's something you need to watch from like start to finish.
It's one long story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the appeal is that there's this horse. She's a war horse. She's a warrior, and she gets sent into this very crazy, cartoony, magical land where everyone's a centaur and everything's alive, and nobody takes anything seriously because they're repressing the fact that, oh yeah, there was this terrible war that happened, but we don't talk about that now. Happy fun times, guys, happy fun times. And she's like, no, you guys gotta take this seriously. You gotta get it in gear. There are threats. You can't sit in your magic bubble all day. And it's kind of, I like the balance between bad things are happening, you have to deal with it, and you also have to find ways to make yourself happy and find like some fulfillment in your life and not always focus on the bad things. And like overall, like what Horse wants is to get back to her world and her rider because she doesn't know, because she's endangered, she doesn't know if she's okay. It's like you have to balance between these things, but always make sure that what is most important is what you're driving towards. And I describe it in that kind of ideological sense, but the show itself is mostly like, you're exploring a new world, you're hearing these great show tunes, it's just bombastic, all over the place. It's very weird when you start watching it, but then you get invested in these characters, and it's a very fun time.
Nailed it.
There you go. So
Say a lot of words all at once.
yes, we like that. You do that good. Yes, you do that good. Ja, fint det. Flott. Ja, I speak English, I promise.
Do you?
I don't know anymore.
It's okay.
Gud, hjälp mig. English. I can speak English.
It's fine, just stick with Norwegian, we'll just kind of fake it through.
Ok, fint. Det hadde spart meg for veldig mye stress, men bare gjør det. Vi tenker det, ja. Så,
Exactly.
så har dere en annen person dere følger på nettet.
How do we do custom stuff? Simple, you just order it.
Do you have to like describe it at all, or do you just say ship me things? If you tried to order something custom and said surprise me, what would you get?
It depends on who you're ordering it from, I suppose.
Well, surprise me.
If you're ordering it from me, then I'll probably just send you a docu with like a soda can on it or something stupid.
Do you have something like that?
That'd be
I could make something like that. There's no minimum order quantity with me.
Okay,
Get, like,
you need to add that.
Cardboard cutout.
Oh no, not cardboard cutouts, no.
Standing cardboard cutout.
Oh, for soda. And it has to be off-brand type of soda.
Doesn't have to be off-brand. What about like a life-size, like human-sized can of Coke?
I enjoy getting diabetes.
Yeah, you're gonna get so much diabetes.
No,
Not funny.
it's just a cardboard cutout. You don't get diabetes from cardboard. You
Still
get
drink it.
diabetes from cardboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Cardboard diabetes.
Sorry, I had to find out this way.
I got so much cardboard.
No.
No.
I think that's
Enjoy pumping yourself.
a stomach pump for some cardboard.
Papier
I
mache.
hate to see that.
Ja, soda can plushie. Sky, give me your soda can plushies.
I thought that would actually
Plushies,
be pretty
absolutely.
cute.
That's just easy. Already make those. You don't even need me for that.
But yeah, you need to
That's
add
cylinder, it's easy.
Sweet Sky. You need to add a random surprise me button that people can order from your website, and then you just make whatever.
See, that's the
Random
mystery
item.
box thing again, and I feel really
Yeah,
bad
mystery
with
box.
mystery boxes.
No, but the thing is, you're in control of the mystery box, so they can say
Well,
mystery
not mystery,
Docky,
but
mystery plushie, mystery cardboard.
You roll the dice and it's like, okay, you get a soda can Docky. You roll the dice, you get, okay, these pair of plushies that have been sitting in my basement for a month and haven't sold.
So you know they get
Like, not so
something
much
that's
mystery,
worth the
but
money.
Random.
Yeah, random button, random order.
Random merch generator. There we go.
Yee! There you go. That sounds fun. You don't have to, but it would be fun. And I think my ADHD or something is trying to compensate for the pain. So yay! I'm starting to go hyper. Yay!
That's fine.
Now I'm on my phone. It's just the letter S like 20 times. I'm guessing this happened in my pocket. Thank you, phone.
Yeah. Do you guys have any issues with electronics and they kind of live their own life?
Not really.
My phone constantly wants me to play games. That's about it.
I'm in command with my phone. It is mine.
I'm sensing a pattern. People who work spiritually or females have phones that lives their own world, because sometimes my phone decides to download a game, or no, not a game, download pictures, or just, hey, you need to open this random app right now, or now I'm not want to work anymore.
No, that happens in my pocket all the time. Like, there'll be like an eraser or something in there. They'll be touching the screen.
That might explain it.
That's
Yeah.
not okay. Yeah. Oh god, I one friend, poor guy. I was at work one day for like 3 or 4 hours, checked my phone, and he sent me like 3 messages. I'm like, oh, he never messaged me. What's going on? I look at Discord. I had been calling him repeatedly for those 3 hours because an eraser was touching that part of my phone screen to call him, and he's messaging me like, do you need something? I'm at work. Why do you keep calling? What's going on?
Oof,
So
though.
sorry. Those were all crocodiles.
Oh. Has something like that ever happened to you guys?
What, randomly
I have
butt dialing
never-
someone for an hour?
Yeah.
I've never butt dialed anyone. I plan to keep it that way.
No,
If
I
that
don't think I've
happens,
done that
I will
one.
donate £10,000 to Scientology.
You have £10,000 to donate?
For a
Maybe.
butt dial?
Maybe soon I will. I'll find a way. Bank
I'm
loan.
about to like make your phone butt dial and rename myself Scientology.
Take a lot
and
of
take
fish to talk.
£10,000.
Oh yeah.
It's actually really hard to think of new things after a while.
Especially
Merchandise-wise.
as a merchandise wise, like well, face mask, like wasn't I
Face
supposed
mask
to
I
go
did before
hyper?
the pandemic. That wasn't like a cash grab for me. It was
No.
just a coincidence.
That's what I'm wondering about. Why did you think about face masks before they became essential?
Oh, I was actually at a furry con, and I saw people putting on face masks to be their personas. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
That's cheap and easy. A lot easier than a fursuit.
It was way cheaper, so I was like, I'll just make some face masks for ponies so people can be like that.
Yay.
That's what I was
And then,
wondering. What inspiration came in there? I just mumbled all that. I was wondering, where did you get your inspiration from new merch? Like,
well, so like with the face mask continuing, I actually did a bunch of like non-pony face designs until 2020 when I was in Japan. I was actually there in January as like everything was getting locked down. We flew out of there as it closed the country. It was insane. But I saw face things there, and I saw these little chibi dolls with adorable little faces and cutie marks on them. Like, well, we'll just do that on the face masks, and I just ordered them right away. But took it until after the Army Con. So just finding inspiration on things around me and going from there.
yeah.
It's lately I've been looking more at things in a practical sense, like what is something I can use, and then going from there, going to okay, well, how can I put ponies on it
See, that appeals to me because I tend to get utilitarian in things that I actually pay money for. It's like I don't want to pay for like a picture I hang on the wall because it's not really gonna do anything. But like a clock will tell me the time. Yeah, that's cool. Like a whiteboard I can write stuff off. Yeah, I get that. Jigsaw puzzles is fun.
now? Functionality is always important.
You're gonna get
That's why I'm doing the microfiber cloths now.
Hmm.
You can wipe your glasses with them. You can clean a screen with them. It's a functional thing.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of people making like big fuzzy blankets as well.
Actually, used to do fuzzy blankets.
What do you not do anymore?
They were very heavy. They were actually one of the few items I ever had to order a minimum of. MOQ is a minimum order quantity, and it was 20. So that was just annoying, stashing 20 of a design.
Oh,
And
okay.
just due to their size and weight, it was hard getting a lot of them to a con. So it's just like, no.
I imagine 2 or 3 blankets of the right size just fills up an entire suitcase.
I think I was able to get 5 or 6. I have pretty big suitcases.
Okay, with the big suitcases. Okay.
Yeah, when it
Oh,
comes to
like-
transport. Sorry.
Cool, keep going.
Black, do you ever take with you guitars and stuff when you go to cons? How do you get them with you? Is it just a normal guitar case or?
Yeah, just a regular guitar case. If I'm taking a plane, then depending on the price of the flight itself, then I'll just I'll buy an extra seat for my guitar and put it there. Or if it's a more expensive flight, I'll just have like a hard case to put the guitar in, and I'll just check that in, and I'll just bring a small bag with me to the country. But if it's something like, I don't know, if I'm bringing a guitar to my own country, then I'll just bring it in a regular case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Myth, I guess you have you have like traveling laptop and pad?
I don't really bring
Actually, no.
equipment.
I just I don't take my laptop and tablet when I travel most of the time. I did the last time that I went to see Solar and Bliss and those guys because I was planning to be drawing then. But other than that, I just leave it at home where I know it's safe and it can't get lost.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I don't travel very much. Like once every 3 years, I actually travel somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Granted, being
question.
a digital artist, I can stay home.
Yay. Do you guys have any like favorite cons to attend to or to work at, so to speak?
I've only been to. I think I can only think of one con I've been to more than once. That's Griffith Giles, but that's because they've happened so quickly, like ahead of each other. I was actually meant to go to that particular convention as early as May 2020, but you could probably guess why that didn't happen. It was then postponed until November 2020, but it didn't look like things were getting better, so it was postponed again November next year to November 2021, which is when it finally took place. Because of the whole uncertainty of the situation, they actually hosted it again 6 months later, when cons are usually normally a yearly thing. But my favorite cons are the ones that are involved with that have like Pony Events Federation, like Everfree Encore. Those guys will, if you're like involved with the con in some way, those guys will keep you safe. They'll keep you covered. They know what they're doing. Absolutely. Pony Events Federation, for those of you who don't know, is a group in Germany. I think it's Germany that runs like a
They're
lot
German.
of German events. Yeah. So Galacon, Everfree Encore, Derpy Fest, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
I'm good friends with some of the people that work there. They're really great to hang out with, and they always keep me covered. If I'm in their care, I know I'm going to be safe.
I don't have many con stores. I went to the one Brony con. Only other convention I've ever been to was a tattoo convention.
And I have to ask, did you end up with a tattoo from that tattoo convention?
Oh yeah, it's a dragon coming out of a column of smoke on my leg.
Ooh, cool.
I couldn't go there and not get a tattoo.
I don't know. Maybe end up with 5. I don't know.
No, just one. I designed it at the convention too. As I'm walking around, I had a sketch pad with me. It's like, you know what? I do want to get something while I'm here. What do I like? What do I like? Look at different artists, and I just drew this dragon emerging out of smoke, and I'm like, yep, I'll get that. That's small. That's good.
Yeah, I kind of am in like a pickle myself because it would be kind of nice to have my OC or something I really, really would be happy to see, even when I get like, if I get 90 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you actually decide on the dragon?
Well, because like I said, I've been in art for like a long time, and for a lot of that, up until MLP, mostly what I drew was dragons. So it's all about dragons for a long time. I had posters of them and books about them and puzzles with them. And
Everything dragon.
I even have a quilt with dragons on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have 2 dragon tattoos, 1 crescent moon, and up on my I was a tattoo artist also, so I was at a tattoo convention. On my ribs, which is one of the worst places to get it, so it's like a badge of like how dedicated I was to the craft. I have miracles happen every day with cute swirly gray bits behind it.
Cool. Well,
so I chose dragons because I love dragons.
Yeah, that's fair. So, Black and Sky, do you guys have tattoos or ever considered tattoos?
No.
I don't have any tattoos, but I've had like thoughts of like, I don't know. I had a solid thought of what I'd get as a first tattoo. Maybe something simple like a small band logo, or maybe a cutie mark.
I'm far too indecisive for a tattoo.
That is fair. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm done getting any of mine by now.
How so?
Like, just like, I don't want to put a bunch of clutter all over my body that doesn't really mean much to me. Like, the 2 dragons mean something to me, the moon means something, miracles happen every day means something. Anything else is like, do I really want to carry that with me my whole life, or am I just doing it to fill space? Like, there's one more thing that I imagine I could get, which is basically you take the infinity symbol and cut pieces out of it until the pieces spell the word artist. Because I have been an artist forever.
Haha,
so
nice.
infinity artist makes sense for me.
Yeah, that was a cool one. I haven't heard that one before.
There's a lot of infinity symbols, but this one would have its own little thing, you know? Yeah.
Prince Whatever's fiance is a tattoo artist, so if I decide to get my first tattoo, I'll probably just go to her.
Ooh, yeah.
Prince Whatever.
Yeah, Prince Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just say
whatever.
Prince.
The artist that's currently known as Prince?
Both. Both. You know, we have Prince, Human Prince, and we have Pony Prince.
Which one's the best?
Pony.
Exactly.
But they have to fight. They have to fight for this title.
You know, if he moves away from the fandom, he'll then be known as the artist formerly known as Prince Whatever.
Ooh, we also have new sponsor art for this week.
Oh.
Yes, Final, one of the 7 feet rats in this server, aka a mod. He has the fun hobby of always gifting sponsor art for this week. Hello, Lanzabi! And this week we are sponsored by face masks, because use face mask and keep people safe.
Face masks are important.
Yep. Especially when they have cute ponies on them.
Mine has otters.
Oh, that's cute.
Mine has a skull mouth on it.
That's
That's
not so
cool.
cute, but that's metal.
Oh, that's adorable.
Ah, shaka shabu shabu.
Cute little skull.
That should make a cute sound.
10 out of 10 would pet. I don't know. But just imagining, like, now, oh, brain, why did you kick in now? So you have a very cute otter, but he has like this face helmet, which is a skull. And when they get too excited, they make it like high pitch type of noise.
I'm gonna draw that. I'm gonna have to.
And for some reason, it has a harness and it's named Railroad. Because I saw the name and I was just like, yep, I'm gonna combine that. Railroad, the cute otter with helmet of skull.
Otter. The Scotter, if you will.
Yes. Don't tell Maddie.
I hear it beeping.
Okay,
I don't
we
think
are...
my mic is picking it up.
No, we're not. But we're also hitting the 2-hour mark. So with that, I can release you guys from your prison and you're free to go home.
Already home.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. It's been a blast having you guys, but I'm also very, very not exotic. I am very exhausted. Oh my god.
Go to bed.
I mean, you're exotic to the
feel that.
Americans.
Yes, I'm very bland and apparently very sharp, according to Bliss's underside of the bed. Because...
Exotic.
Nah.
I saw you hiding under there with the axe. I saw you.
It's a nice home and it's very fluffy. I liked it under there. It was a lot of room actually also for being under a bed. Context, I was
Was it, you guys watched a scary movie
no.
or something?
Basically I was unsure if I had COVID, so I didn't want to touch anything that anyone else was using. So instead of laying myself on the bed, I was like, okay, the bed seems pretty high up, so I think there's room for me. And yes, there was plenty of room under the bed, and they had carpet. So it was very fluffy under the bed as well. So this is just like, yes, this is my cave now. And then Bliss was like, Chris, where did you go? And I'm just like, I'm under here. So yeah. Yeah. You guys can say your goodbyes if you want to, and we are gonna raid. Let's see if that person is still here.
Take care of one.
Fun.
Fun!
Fun!
Ugh.
Oh, he died.
Posting the Skull Otter to the server in a few minutes.
And while we're waiting for that, we are gonna raid Weekend Hiatus, who is playing My Little Pony: A Maritime Bay Adventure, because I really like that game, even though it's very, very short. So don't buy it on the full price. Wait until it goes on to sale.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Yeah, I know.
That's one of the only thing holding me back from getting that game is the fact that it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Always go for volume over high sales. Always.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
small sales is better than few large sales.
So stay safe, stay kind, and stay brownie, everyone. Bye!
Bye!